Welcome to the live chat on Incredible Impact program. Today I'm joined by Silke Schlinnertz from Euroheat Power, who's joining us for a live chat. Silke, welcome. And would you be able to just introduce quickly yourself and your association, please?
Sure. I'm Silke. I do work since the year 2004 in with associations. And since almost 10 years, I work now for Euroheat Power, which is the international association promoting sustainable heating and cooling. And it's a mix of a federation and a trade associations with around 120 members from across the globe.
So what kind of impact program have you developed with your association and your conference?
So the one that we submitted for the Incredible Impact Award is actually a collaboration. It's the Global District Energy Climate Award. That is an event and a ceremony and an initiative which runs across the globe, promoting projects which have highlighted sustainability in the district heating and cooling market. And the last one was in Reykjavik, Iceland. So the work starts more or less 2 years out. So we reach out to our community, to our members and so forth, if they want to play host to that initiative and the ceremony, getting the best in class down to their country and their city. So with that in mind, we always go to a destination which puts sustainable heating and cooling at its heart. It may not yet be developed sometimes like we were in Qatar, etc., but a destination which has a really, really strong desire to develop it and be sustainable in the long term to fight climate change.
So what is your main goal with this program? What do you want to achieve in the destination?
So in the destination, we have discovered over years, and as a trade association and all our community, that if you want to change perception and how we behave, etc., the only tool to make it functioning is by strengthening the role and the understanding, literally, of the local, regional community and governments. So if you don't have a law which passes, or if your prime minister is not fully supporting fighting climate change, it's not going to happen. So it has to be at the core of the destination where we go. And sometimes it's not that easy to understand that when we say energy, people associate it with electricity very often, while the energy we consume actually is only 25% electricity, 25% is linked to transport, and the other 50% is how we heat and cool our buildings, our thermal comfort. And that's just very often forgotten, and people don't think, where is my hot water coming from? Or how do I cool down my home? But what happens with the hospitals? They need to have a constant temperature and so forth. And so it's kind of, you have it, but it's not in people's mind. And so it was also for a part not in politicians' mind. So with these initiatives, we show it's possible. And on top, you are doing something really great for your community, for your country, for your region.
Excellent. So your work of your association is really important for raising public awareness, but also for changing policies with politicians,
yes.
Right?
That's correct.
So after you've submitted this year, and it was a close race, what are some key learnings for you for the future? What are you going to implement in future and improve to really support this program you are having?
So we're going to pursue it, definitely. What we will even push further is bringing in even more politicians, even more ambassadors, which we have discovered is only by learning from each other, seeing what has really worked well in other countries, or seen also sometimes. Let's take the example of Iceland, where you have loads of geothermal. And then everybody says, yeah, obviously Iceland has a lot of geothermal. There are the geysers, there's all that stuff. So, but this can just only function in Iceland. But it's not true. It functions also with lower temperatures and so forth. But while people can see and experience that it's kind of not too hot in the building or not too cold in the building, when you have your very own experience with it and discover that an entire country can run on this sustainable energy, it becomes like closer to your heart, and that's what you're going to transmit as well to your audience ultimately. So we really want to continue this way. We really want to engage also more with the ambassadors, more with the local policymakers, more with the urban planners, which influence it, and ultimately with what we call the DH citizens.
You've already touched on it, of the importance of why you are pursuing a long-lasting legacy as part of your association's mission and meeting. What would be the one tip or the one reason you would say to every associations out there why they need to implement this as part of their strategy?
It's your long-term future. If you just make an event to have an event, being it for your revenue source without any thinking behind it, I mean, it won't last. And especially not in nowadays. If you don't leave an impact in whatever term, be it by touching their hearts, by really developing more content, etc. If you have nothing, it's just another show, another conference, an entertainment opportunity, and I'm not sure that's the role of associations to be just there for entertaining their delegates and members. And so for me, it's really important that each association look what their mission is, go back to that mission and translate from that mission how you can help and support the local community in whatever country or destination you are going to. You shouldn't just go somewhere because it has a nice beach, for example, and where you can relax. That's okay, but it's not something which leaves a longer impact.
And this really goes hand in hand what we always say, that associations are drivers of change and everybody really needs to embrace this. Before we go off, I just wanted to ask you, what role can destinations play in helping associations really develop that long-term legacy program in the destinations once you have left with your meeting?
It's basically look what the need is of the destination you are and what, in our case, the local member has to say and what their need is. Because very often you have key competencies in the destinations you are at, or you are struggling with a key problem. Take Qatar, for example, that didn't have a district cooling law. So there we're really kind of looking, how can we frame this? We haven't done this. It's not in our consistency. How can we do this? And as an association taking no part in any of the sides being neutral, you can come in, help explain, okay, that's how this country did it, that's how Europe does it, that's how the States do it, etc. The local community can form their own opinion, and this is what happened basically in Qatar. Once we left, there was the birth of a new district cooling law, kind of, and that's thanks to that meeting. So that's something a destination must understand. Is this something which is important to our community also on the long term? Is this something which will be basically also proud of to highlight to others?
Excellent. Thank you so much. And I'm sure we will continue more discussions on this topic within our ICA Congress broadcast portal, where we will be also showing a recording of today's live chat in the Incredible Impact Zone. Thank you, Silke, so much for joining us today. For anybody who wants to know more about the ICA Best Cities Incredible Impacts program, please visit our website, icaworld.org/incredible impacts. Thank you, everybody, for joining us, and thank you, Silke. Bye-bye.
Thank you.